Salutations. I'm Gil.
And I'm Gil, and this is Strategic Prepper.
Good morning. This is May 13, 2021, and this is a threat update. The Colonial Pipeline is back running, but the backlog of fuel deliveries we know is going to take some time. There's going to be a ripple effect, and we know that, so we need to be ready for that. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what's coming next. So the FBI, the company, said this is a group called Darkseid. I've heard of Darkseid before. Many of you may have heard of Darkseid, a criminal organization. They break into companies. They install what's called ransomware. Basically, it's an electronic booby trap that could shut a company down if they don't pay the ransom. The gang says they're in it for money. But just to note, we believe that if the coding has got any Russian signatures, they don't attack it. They're concerned about the Russians. But on the threat update, what's the future look like? This is a bump in the road as we here, me and a strategic prepper, we knew that this was going to be a relatively minor bump in the road in the big scheme of things. I have a rule of thumb, and it's not concrete, but it's a general rule of thumb. When everyone is panicking, and I say general, 9/11, obviously, it was a big deal and everyone panicked. When everyone is panicking, it often ends up to be not that big of a deal. And I'm talking the initial response. And when people... And by people, I'm referring to like Main Street media. I'm talking about the drivers of cultural perception. When the people are basically ignoring something, that's when I take a second look. Let me give you some examples. On the pipeline incident, everyone freaked out. Nice long lines at the gas stations, fights over gasoline, and people carrying gasoline in plastic bags. Oh my gosh, please don't do that. But this business is in the business of delivering gasoline. We know they're going to figure it out. And they're going to figure it out kind of quickly. And if nothing else, and they can't get the pipeline working, they're going to start running trucks, overtime on trucks. They're going to get fuel. There may be something like this may lead to a long time retraction in the supply. But we're not going to leave part of the country dry. And that's my point. So the reaction, like Y2K, oh my gosh, people freaked out over Y2K. Turned out to be a nothing burger. COVID, on the other hand, January of last year, February of last year, people were acting like it was going to be nothing. You've heard me say, I was raising the flag then and people were like laughing. And even early March, I was with my son, the other half of Strategic Prepper. We had a small conference on how to respond to COVID because we knew it was going to be much bigger than just the flu. And as we said in a different video, bigger than the flu, but not the Black Plague. So all indications were that. And even early the first week of March, nothing was being said. In a different video that came out earlier this week, we talk about hyperinflation. I know there's others talking about it, but the general media, the general cultural perception is not that big, not that big of a threat. Numbers did come out yesterday. Inflation bumped up to 4.2. My personal expectation is that's just the beginning. 4.2, they're 12-month numbers. You've got a lot of time from last year that still has to drop off. We're looking at prices. We know that prices have gone up more than 4.2%. There's just a lag in the consumer price index, which is what everyone believes. That's what the people follow. To them, that's the Bible of inflation. That's how we measure it. Just a note for my listeners. On the consumer price index, When politicians don't like the information, guess what they can do? They can change how they define the consumer price index. What? That's crazy. Okay, but you've heard me say this before. They make the rules, they can change them. Guess what? We look at history to see what has happened, and we can learn at what's likely to happen in the future. Check it out. The government has changed the definition of the consumer price index before. I think it was under Reagan, but it changes how the numbers get calculated. It does change the information that's conveyed. Unemployment numbers get recalculated. They have been recalculated before. So you will hear people talk about real unemployment versus the unemployment numbers. The point is that the economic numbers came in at 4.2, and they're going to be climbing. The other point is that we see that a singular pipeline was shut down. Actually, it's a network. A pipeline was shut down for a few days. We're going to see more. This is just the beginning. One of the things that concerns me, and this is why I decided to just sit down right now and have this video. One of the things that concerns me is look at the response of the Biden administration. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I can hear it through the internet. You're saying, what response? Exactly my point. What response? And if there's no serious consequences to bad actions, I don't care whether it's a criminal organization, I don't care whether it's a civil group engaging in civil disturbance, or I don't care if it's a child, it doesn't matter. If there's no negative consequences for negative behavior, that behavior is going to increase. And this group is a very secretive group. Although they are not unknown, I have heard of them before. And I'm pretty sure many people have heard of them, maybe in passing. But they're not the only group out there. And because this was a successful attack in the sense that they shut the pipe down, let me ask you, my viewers, who else is watching? Who is watching this criminal organization? Our adversaries. Exactly right. So, and I'm going to name some names. You look at the Chinese, you look at the North Koreans, the Iranians, the Russians. We're a big country with big stick. We're going to have adversaries. That's the nature of politics. That's the nature of life. These adversaries are looking at this, and with one computer bug, they shut down a huge network. If I'm an adversary, I'm sitting there thinking, dang, that looked pretty easy. So let me see if I can shut down multiple systems. Can I shut down power systems? Can I shut down water systems? I know they have already actually been looking at this, but I think this is going to motivate different actors to do this. I don't think this is a one-off. And in fact, I happen to know on the cybersecurity side that these type of probing attacks happen all the time. Having been in security at facilities, manufacturing, chemical manufacturing, I know that these threats happen. I know there's actors out there that want to perform these ransomware attacks. That's just life in the cyber world. But I'm talking about that next level. That next level where it's more than just about the money. I mean, come on. They shut down the fuel flow for, 50 million people? I think that's the number. I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. But they shut down the fuel flow. Many gas stations ran out of fuel. Fortunately, it didn't turn into a lot of fighting. I think I read one story of one fight. Some gal tried to cut in the line. I mean, come on, give me a break. Chill out, people. We can't eat ourselves when bad things happen. Bad things are going to happen in life. And unfortunately, some people act badly. As people focus on preparedness, on self-reliance, what are some of the things that we can do? So this is just a reminder. We talk here at this site about broad-based preparedness, not preparing for a single event, but preparing for self-reliance. And there's so many aspects. Fuel is just one of them. Here, we had fuel reserves, although we're in Louisiana. This is where they make the stuff, the gasoline. We got refineries everywhere. So anyway, broad-based, risk-based preparedness is what's going to protect us. If you haven't already, check out our other videos. We've got more coming. We've got one coming in a couple of days, specifically on water. We've got one coming on food. We're going to have one coming on security soon, on personal security. So take a look at these as we walk through the specifics, and take a look at your own preparedness. Do a risk assessment. Where are you strong? Where are your gaps? It's good to know where those gaps are. You may not be able to close those gaps right away, because this attack was on the fuel system. The next one may be on energy, maybe on water. You may be in a community that gets city water, and the water treatment plant gets attacked. So I just want to keep this short update. This bump in the road is diminishing. The fuel's starting to flow again. Let's not sit on our laurels. Let's learn from this. This is a good time to sit back, reassess where we're at, reassess where our strengths are, reassess where our gaps are, and just readjust the direction of our preps. Because this is going to happen again. I can guarantee you. Next time it may be bigger. Next time it may have a longer term impact. One of the things that concerns me is not so much a pipeline attack, but what concerns me is cascading effect. And what a cascading effect means, that without a pipeline, that causes something else to shut down, which causes something else to shut down, and problems just tend to magnify. That's what concerns me. Best way to prepare for that: broad-based, balanced prep system. All right, leave comments if you've got any questions. Leave comments if you would like a specific video or specific information on a narrow topic. And we've got a number of these in the works right now. But if you've got something that would be of interest to you, let us know. If it's within our wheelhouse, we could put it on the list, maybe even move it up. So thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.